Okay, imagine this. You're a pharaoh. You rule Egypt. You have all the power in the world. But after you die, your own people smash every statue of your face. They chisel your name off every wall. And they rip you out of every history book. For over 3,000 years, nobody even knows you existed. That actually happened to one guy. And here's the strange part. He wasn't erased because he lost a war. He wasn't erased because he failed. He was erased because of what he believed. Context. Let me give you the super quick picture. Egypt, 1350 BCE. For 1,500 years, everyone worships a bunch of gods. Amun-Ra, Osiris, animal heads, giant temples, the whole thing. The priests of Amun are basically running the country. They're rich, they're powerful, they control half the economy. Then a young pharaoh comes to the throne, Amenhotep IV, and within 5 years, he tries to burn it all down. Not with an army, with an idea. Why he was weird. Here's where it gets odd. Amenhotep IV announces that all the old gods are cancelled. No more Amun, no more Ra. There's only one god now, the Aten, the sun disk itself. Just a circle in the sky. No animal heads, no stories, no statues. Then he changes his own name to Akhenaten, living spirit of the Aten. Okay, fine. Religious reform. Happens sometimes. But then they carve his statues. And he looks wrong. Seriously, go look it up. Most pharaohs look like perfect muscular gods. Akhenaten has wide hips, a big belly, a long skinny face, thick lips, and this weird elongated skull. He made every artist in Egypt carve him like that, on purpose, for 17 years. Imagine if the president said, "From now on, every painting of me has to make me look like an alien." That's Akhenaten. Why Egypt hated him. But the weird appearance isn't why they erased him. Here's why they really hated him. First, he shut down the temples of Amun. He took their land. He fired their priests. Thousands of powerful, wealthy men lost everything overnight. Entire careers vanished. Generations of influence disappeared. Men who had spent their lives serving the old gods suddenly found themselves irrelevant. Second, he moved the capital to a brand new city in the middle of nowhere. He called it Akhenaten. He built temples with no roofs because the sun needed to shine directly on the altar. No dark secret rooms, no places for priests to hide their power. Third, he ignored the rest of the world. Egypt had allies, Egypt had enemies. Akhenaten didn't care. He didn't send armies, he didn't answer letters, he just prayed to his sun disk. So while he's building his weird city and kissing his wife on every temple wall, the empire is falling apart. The economy starts to crumble. The priests are furious. The people are confused. And Akhenaten doesn't care. He only cares about the Aten. By the end of his reign, almost everyone wanted him gone. Nefertiti. And his queen, Nefertiti, the famous one. Around year 12 of his reign, she vanished. No tomb, no mummy, no explanation. Nobody knows what happened to her. But that's a mystery for another video. The erasure. Akhenaten ruled for 17 years. Then he died. And within one generation, his revolution was completely destroyed. His son was a boy named Tutankhaten, living image of the Aten. But the priests got to him. The boy changed his name to Tutankhamun, living image of Amun. Yeah, that Tutankhamun, King Tut. He moved the capital back. He reopened the old temples. He pretended the whole sun god thing never happened. And then the erasure began. They smashed every statue of Akhenaten's face. Thousands of them, ground into dust. They chiseled his name off every monument, every temple, every inscription. In ancient Egypt, if your name wasn't written anywhere, you didn't exist. They even rewrote the official king lists. They skipped him completely, as if he had never ruled at all. His city, Akhenaten, was abandoned, buried under sand for 3,000 years. And here's the second twist. It worked. For more than 3,000 years, the world forgot that Akhenaten had ever existed. No one knew about the weird pharaoh who worshipped one god. No one knew about the city without roofs. No one knew about the scandalous kisses. He was gone. The twist within the twist. Then, after more than 3,000 years of silence, the desert gave him back a few clay tablets, a forgotten city, then walls, temples, statues, an entire pharaoh rising out of the sand. That's the real twist. The only reason Akhenaten exists in history books today is because his enemies buried him so completely that no one could find him for 3,000 years. If they had just smashed his statues and left it at that, we might never have known. They tried to erase him, but they buried him so deep that he survived. So why did they hate him so much? Not just because he was a weird-looking guy who kissed his wife in public. They hated him because he threatened the story. Egyptian religion wasn't just belief. It was the engine of the economy. Millions of people, priests, scribes, artisans, tomb builders, depended on the old gods. Akhenaten tried to erase a world that had existed for over 1,000 years. So when he died, that world erased him back. Not with swords, not with armies, with memory. Sometimes the most powerful weapon in history isn't violence, it's deciding who gets remembered. What other pharaohs were erased? What other stories are still hiding under the sand? If you want to find out, you know what to do. We dig up the weird, the forgotten, and the unbelievable every week. I'm your host. This is Odyssey. And remember, history is stranger than fiction. See you next time.